Alabama picked up another commitment yesterday, and you'll never guess what position he plays.
You are Locked On Bama, your daily podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back into Locked On Bama, AHSA Radio Network's Luke Robinson. That's me. Alabama internet legend Jimmy Stein. That's him. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. We'll talk about FanDuel in just a little bit. I want to thank you everydayers for joining us every day because you help make Locked On Sports Podcast Network the number one sports podcast network. Also want to remind you to please join the Everydayer Club, and I'll tell you how in just a bit. I'll put this crawler on here because I've learned how to do stuff. And there you go. So, Jimmy, Alabama picked up a commitment yesterday from a tight end. Good Lord, we love to have tight ends commit to us. I mean, it's like we're Iowa. I mean, we just get tight ends upon tight ends. And anywho, I like this guy, Colt Lumpus. That is a interesting name.
I love it. Sort of like it.
Well, let me tell you what. I mean,
Colt's
nobody's going to be like, oh, you're wearing number 18 jersey, Lumpus. Which Lumpus is that? Nobody's ever going to say that.
I think Colt's a good football name. That's a good
Colt
one.
is a good football name.
And he goes to the Lawrenceville school. And I'm a fan whenever we get a kid from a school that starts with the.
Yeah.
Because you got to be really smart. You have to be smart to go to a the school. If you're in a the school, it's smart. But it's also fun. Everybody listening to this, you should do this. Most everybody listening to this statistically went to a public school. A lot of y'all might have went to private school. Luke did. But even with a private school, this will work. I think of your high school, put a the in front of it and remove the high. So like Luke went to Indian Springs High School. You could say the Indian Springs School.
Well, it's much better than a lot of the high schools people go to in Alabama. They start with an A, as in a high school. I went to a high school.
See, I didn't go to Fairhope High School. I went to the Fairhope School.
The Fairhope. Well, it'd be two words.
Yeah. Oh, that would even be better.
And like anyway, the Fairhope of our Sacred Mother or whatever.
Now, the drawback to going to one of these the schools is you're not always playing with and against. I do this funny thing where sometimes when I watch kids playing at small private schools and I'm watching people play defense, I tell myself, had I played high school football, I would look like that. I would have looked like that.
Yeah.
That's what I would have looked like playing DB in high school against the Lawrenceville school. And I would have been helpless trying to cover or catch Colt Lumpus, who's really good. I like his tape a ton. Let's do the positives first. Fantastic athlete for his frame. His frame is ridiculous. I mean, he's got to obviously fill out. Listed at 6'7", he's probably every bit of 6'5" plus, and maybe 6'6". And this is just his junior year of high school. Let's remember there could even be some growing left. He'll certainly add weight. He is a high school wide receiver. And that's what he does. All the highlight tape that I saw was him playing wide out. And man, is he athletic. I wish if that tape had been like 7A football in Alabama and it had been that exact tape with him having that exact same success, I would be telling you guys, this guy is like, we've signed Kyle Pitts. We have signed Kyle Pitts. I mean, that's what I'd be telling. But he's doing this against private school guys up in the Northeast. So you have to factor that in. Don't get too excited watching the tape because it's not exactly SEC competition up there. But dude's got great hands. The athleticism is what sticks out. He is a phenomenal athlete for his frame, and I couldn't be more excited to get him. Now, here's the downside. He's a wideout. I mean, and we're going to ask him to play at the line of scrimmage in the SEC against the best athletes in the world that aren't in the NFL. It's going to take a hot minute here for him to transition from playing wide receiver to playing tight end. But in terms of a pass receiver, he has as much upside as any pass receiving tight end I think Alabama's signed, since I've been following this in the late 80s. I mean, he's that
O.J.
good.
Howard?
Yes, I think he's got O.J. Howard ability as a pass catching tight end. He does.
Who also played in a private school.
And who was also a wide receiver in high school. And all the way up through his 5th year at Alabama, it was like, or 4th or 5th year, whatever, his final year at Alabama, it was like, will he develop into a good enough blocker? And who knows if that's why his NFL career may not have gone, and I think he got banged up and some injuries there. He always just had to work on the blocking. That's what's going to be the situation with Colt Lumpus. He will be a significant player at Alabama as he learns to become a physical presence. If he ever does, the sky's the limit here. I'm very excited about him. I'm excited about Max Sutter in the last group. I think Sutter might be a little more complete in terms of the physicality. I think Colt Lumpus has to really work on that part of it, but the upside is phenomenal. His pass catching skills and ability after the catch. That's the thing about him. Now I know he's playing against, like I said, a bunch of Jimmies, but his after the catch skills for a guy listed at 6'7" is phenomenal. It's fun to watch. Again, I'm excited. I see why we took him. I would take him anywhere. But this is a pass-first offense. I mean, DeBoer and Grubb are pass-first guys. Makes sense that the tight end you get really excited about is a Cuevas-type tight end, and that's what he is a Josh Cuevas-type tight end. But he's got more long-term upside than even Josh, I believe, even as a pass receiver. Let's just see how he develops physically. That'll be the question. I think holding on to him is going to be tough. I think this is a major riser as he goes to camps, because everyone's going to question the competition. He ends questions about the competition if he goes to these camps and shows out against other highly rated kids who are playing at bigger schools. So if he goes to camps and shows out, this is a kid that could really rise in the rankings.
He goes to high school in Connecticut, as you said. He's 6'5", pushing 6'6", 220. And not for nothing, but I went back because you made me curious. Went back and looked at O.J. Howard in the NFL. He spent 6 seasons in the NFL. He had his best season, weirdly, looks like was his first year. Yeah.
Rookie year. I thought so.
Yeah. 14 games played, 14 games started. He ended up with 6 touchdowns. And then the next time he went 14 for 14, he only had 1 touchdown. So he played 6 years. I mean, you can make some pretty serious money in the NFL in 6 years. So I'm sure he's doing just fine. I don't know what O.J. Howard is doing now. If somebody knows, you can join us in our Discord at the Everydayer Club and talk about O.J. Howard if you'd like to. Or you can talk about that very sexy picture I put up of Jimmy yesterday. Either one. They're both wide open.
I got the same picture. Michael Southern sent me the same picture starring Luke.
I know. I got it too, and I think I'll refrain from putting that one.
Yeah, the faces aren't. It's not really us. It's like more like our hair.
It is. The face didn't do it quite as much. Sometimes Chat GPT didn't capture the essence of a Jimmy or a Luke.
Well, it's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do.
All right, I'm going to tell you guys now about FanDuel, because FanDuel's the best. Why wouldn't I? NFL Sundays move fast. One big play and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds, every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift, a receiver gets hot, or a defense tightens up, or the momentum flips after a turnover, something crazy like that. Live spreads and money lines adjust instantly. Player props update as guys heat up. That makes a lot of sense. You can bet next touchdown scores, drive results, totals, and more. It keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, every possibility. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL bets that are live all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast. So can you. And I forgot to put the thing up, and there it is right there. How about that?
You know what FanDuel bet I like right now? I think Ole Miss is going to just whack Tulane, and I'm not like down on Tulane by any means, and they earned their G5 spot. I mean, James Madison sort of backdoored theirs, but oh, by the way, shout out to me. I'm going to retweet this. I've been forgetting to do this. Shout out to me this summer. Now I was very wrong when I predicted the playoff this summer. I predicted all 12 teams to make the playoff before the season started. I've got the tweet. Boy, I had some misses there. Had some misses. How you can't miss any worse than I did by including Penn State and Clemson. Now, my defense, everyone else included Penn State. I wasn't like breaking new ground, including Penn State and Clemson, but I was very wrong about Penn State, very wrong about Clemson, very wrong about Alabama. Got a lot else right, but the one I nailed, James Madison. I had James Madison in the playoff field this summer. I did not have Tulane. I just had James Madison as the single group of 5 team to make it. So shout out to me for getting that right, and shame on me for falling for Penn State, Clemson, and LSU hype, 2 of whom have new coaches.
That's the most Jimmy thing you've ever done. Okay, I screwed up 10 things, but this one thing
I did,
random right. One thing I did,
and I deserve a lot of praise and frankly money for that.
Thank you for making Locked On Bama your first listen of the day, and thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. You already live your team every day. Now take it up next level, ad-free. Join the Everydayer Club and get Locked On Bama with no interruptions, members-only Discord access, and more, all for just $5 a month or $50 a year. I'm going to put the little thing up here again, so go check it out. A lot of people have already joined. And look, Jimmy and I aren't begging you to do it. We'd love for you to because we think it's fun. But you don't have to, and we're not going to skimp on what we do here. So I want to make sure.
I grew up on the message board, so I like having a message board like that. I mean, to me, Discord isn't really exactly like a message board, but similar enough. I like posting. I'm going to post quite a bit there, just because I enjoy doing it. I certainly enjoy the conversation with you guys. So whatever y'all want to talk about.
Yes. All right. So Alabama players on the All SEC team, coaches. I thought it's weird. It's weird to see only two players from Alabama on the first team. It's just.
Do you feel like, okay, who got ripped off? Okay, the only 2 to make, y'all unaware, the first team, Kadyn Proctor and Bray Hubbard. Kadyn Proctor, first team, Bray Hubbard. Does anyone feel like somebody was ripped off? I would say that even though he did not make the first team, and even though right now at this moment he's not playing great due to injury, Parker Brailsford, I think, is as good as any center.
Well, he moved down to third team too. I thought that was weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think he deserves first team now. I think was Slaughter from Florida first team.
Let me look it up real quick. And Jake Slaughter from Florida, and then Drew Bobo.
Those aren't bad selections at all. I get it. They're both really good players, especially Slaughter. He is really good. But Brailsford, I'm not trading Parker Brailsford for anybody. That's the way I look at it. I mean, I'm not trading Parker Brailsford for anybody. I like the kid. I like what he does for Alabama. He's a great player, but he's just playing on one leg right now. He really struggled against Georgia. I wonder if that hurt him in the voting. Parker Brailsford has a year to return to college. It'll be interesting to see if he does. But he's the name that stood out to me, Luke, in terms of like, and one other name that I think maybe deserves first team mention or in the ballpark is Deontae Pierre. I thought Deontae, after he became a starter, that's another kid I wasn't trading for too many outside linebackers in this league, and in a league full of good linebackers. But I think
he didn't make any list.
He didn't make any of the lists. No. and I think it's because he didn't go into the year as a starter. He didn't get a lot of hype. I don't think he made it to double-digit sacks. So I get why he didn't. I'm just saying I wouldn't trade Deontae Pierre for too many outside linebackers in the SEC. But other than that, Luke, it's kind of hard to – I think Deontae Lawson made the second team, which I think is part earned and part reputation. But at the end of the year, Deontae, I think he's playing right now really well. I think it took him all through September to knock the rust off from the injury. But overall, Deontae Lawson played really well. Parker Brailsford was on the third team. I think we had another couple of guys that made second team. Deontae Lawson was one.
First of all, Deontae Pierre only has 6 sacks.
Okay. I knew it was short of 10. I think to come out of nowhere and make first team All SEC, you probably need 10 sacks. But
yeah, I'm with you on that. And
he also didn't start until like game 4.
Well,
game 5 was his first start.
Secondly, it feels like Deontae Pierre did all his damage in the middle of the season, like not at the beginning. He didn't do much against Georgia. I mean, nobody did, but I don't remember Deontae Pierre doing a ton against Auburn. Nor do I remember him doing a ton against Oklahoma for that matter.
He plays well. He played
well, but I'm just saying no big sacks, no big.
What I'm really impressed by him, though, is that I thought when he replaced Quay Russaw, I'm like, I don't worry about Deontae as a pass rusher. He's probably just as good or better than Quay as a pass rusher. I worry about him doing everything else. But everything else is where he really improved. I thought as the season went on, became a quality player against the run, playing in space, dropping into coverage. He wasn't a liability in that area at all as the season progressed. I think he will go into next year an all-star candidate for certain. So not the usual number of Alabama guys on the
Brailsford was the only third-team member. Ty Simpson and Deontae Lawson were the only second-team members. And then, of course, we talked about the 2 first-team members. That's 5 Alabama players total on 3 All-SEC teams. Yeah, that is alarming compared to the last 20 years.
I think we talked about it on the show all throughout the season. I mean, this came up on the show about how Alabama, especially we talked about this all the time. Alabama's defense is really good, and by the end of the year, second best defense in the league. Very few all-star candidates, and only two, Bray and Deontae, right?
Yeah,
and that's I think that's good coaching. I think there's a lot of players who are likely to be all-star type players next year because some of it is reputation. Some of it's that. Some of it's not. I mean, let's be honest. This isn't a breakdown film study all-star team. I mean, not really. It's largely reputation and stats and how many times you were named player of the week by the league, that sort of thing. And this is the coach's all-SEC team. The AP all-SEC team will be out soon. It'll look a little different, but I wouldn't expect it to look hugely different. But not a lot of great all-star candidates, and we did talk about that all through the season, that Alabama was sort of that way. Another interesting thing, the 5 guys that made the all-star team, I think only Deontae Lawson can't come back. The other 4 could all return. Parker, Brailsford, Kadyn Proctor, Ty Simpson, and Bray Hubbard all have additional years of eligibility. Who's staying, who's coming back? That'll be a fascinating question the moment the season ends. Let's hope it doesn't in Norman.
Yeah, and one quick thing about the Norman thing. So on Bama 24/7, apparently Oklahoma general manager Jim Nagy, he posted something on Selection Sunday for football, and he posted a photo of Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium on social media with, it was snow covered and said, possibility of a snow game in Norman under the lights on Friday, sign me up. But it looks like that's not going to happen. Thank the good Lord. The high that Friday may actually be 61. I mean, look, it's a week and a half out, so we don't know, but it is showing to be 61. And so even if it gets down into the 30s, it's not going to snow, which I think is wonderful. Because even though I like to be in snow sometimes, I don't want to be in snow for this particular football game. So I think I'm going, and I don't want to deal with that. So hats off to me.
You know what's funny to me about these, whenever they're like, wow, if it's cold, what a huge advantage for Oklahoma. Maybe so. But y'all do know that, or I say y'all, I'm talking about the world. Y'all do know that not all of the college football players playing for Oklahoma are from Norman, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Y'all know that, right? As a matter of fact, a lot of them are from Texas, and a lot of them are from parts of Texas where it's hot as heck about 9 months of the year. I mean, I'm just saying they're not all from Michigan.
And they also don't practice in snow all the time. I mean,
not all the Alabama kids are from Alabama. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, too few of them are. We got players from all over. And it's like when Buffalo and Green Bay have these snow games, like what a tremendous advantage for Buffalo and Green Bay. Most of those guys played in the SEC.
Yeah. No, that's true. That is very true. All right. We're going to talk about Graham Simpson. He won Mr. Football in Alabama. E.J. Crowell is either already won it or going to win it in Alabama. So, I mean, spoiler alert, Just like Rugy at Ready,
Back.
it's going to be hard to beat EJ Crowell for the Mr. Alabama football.
Ba-da-da.
I think it works, though. Let's talk about something most men don't bring up, but absolutely should. Stress from work or money or life, podcasts, whatever. It doesn't just switch off at night. And when it shows up at the worst possible time, Rugy at Ready is designed to help you take back control. Rugy at Ready is a next generation prescription treatment created to support both the brain and the body. If you were unfamiliar with what those two things are. So you can feel present, confident, and ready when the moment matters. You know what moment I'm talking about. Rugy at Ready combines 3 clinically proven ingredients in 1 mint, a mint, people, that dissolves under your tongue so it absorbs fast. The science behind Rugy at Ready stands out. It does stand out. 3 clinically proven ingredients in 1 formula designed for both mental and physical readiness. It's easy to understand. Well, over 150,000 men have already made the switch. Oh, yeah. If you've been thinking about taking the next step, now's the time. Head to Rugiet, that's RUGIET.com/LockedOnCollege. That's RUGIET.com/LockedOnCollege to get 15% off your order for a limited time, of course. Rugiet Ready. Feel present, feel confident, feel ready. That's Rugiet Ready, Jimmy Stein guarantee.
Yeah, I'll guarantee it. Luke will send you a Barry White album with every order. Or Marvin
You won't
Gaye.
need it. You won't do who was the former? You could do a Barry Foster. Remember him for Arkansas? I could do a Barry Foster album. You remember Barry Foster?
I don't think I know that.
The running back for Arkansas many moons ago?
No.
He played for I'll never forget. I'm pretty sure he's the guy. He went to the pros and he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
This is starting to sound familiar.
Okay. And I'll never forget this as long as I live. So I don't know why he did this, but I think they were playing the 49ers and it was in San Francisco and he caught a kickoff. He was a pretty good kickoff return guy. He caught a kickoff and I guess he thought he was in the end zone. So he kneeled down and just sat there. And people still can't. And like in the NFL, if you fall down, you can get back up. So people were still charging. And this was before anybody worried about CTEs and stuff. So he was just sitting there as people were still coming at him. And I remember looking at the screen going, I know in his head, he's going, well, why aren't they stopping? And then they just pummeled him.
Because he kneeled at the 1?
No, he kneeled at like the 10 or something. It was weird. And I remember going, why would you do that? I mean, that didn't make sense.
Why you remember
if you're in college. But I guess he thought he was in the end zone and he just got obliterated. I mean, I may be having the Mandela effect. I'm going to look that up later, but I'm pretty sure that
after the live read. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
we just got on berries.
He couldn't stand up. He was a crumpled mess. And he needed to stand up and stretch out. So, yeah, that's what he needed to do.
So we're discussing Graham Simpson. I'm not sure what other berries we could come up with here that'll have. Maybe he beat out somebody named Barry for the award. But Graham Simpson, Mr. Football. He's only in the 10th grade.
I did not. I thought he was. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He is only in the 10th grade.
It's his 10th grade year, and he's Mr. Football.
Cow.
You know who else was a 10th grade Mr. Football? Ryan Williams. And so now Graham doesn't play, at the highest classification. He does play in a little bit lower classification. The numbers are ridiculous. I just get asked frequently, hey, does Ty Simpson make Graham Simpson a lock for Alabama? I don't believe that by any means. Ty approached recruiting. Ty and his family, they've lived college football. Dad's a college football coach, and I know it's the FCS and it's not the SEC, but they know recruiting extremely well. I think Graham is going to approach recruiting in the same exact way Ty did. Ty didn't choose Alabama because he grew up wearing Alabama stuff and being a Saban guy and all that. I mean, Ty chose Alabama because it was a business decision. What program is best going to develop me into the best player I can be? In that sense, I do think Alabama will have a great shot at Graham Simpson, because there's a track record that DeBoer has with developing quarterbacks, and they're likely pleased with what Nick Sheridan and DeBoer and Ryan Grubb have done for Ty. So I think Alabama will be a major factor here. But I think in the end, Graham is going to make a business decision. And by that, I don't mean necessarily the money. What I mean is what program is best going to develop him into the best player he can be. Maybe Alabama, he may choose another. Let's see what it looks like about a year from now, because I'll be surprised if there's some sort of decision from Graham. But by the way, the earlier decision probably favors Alabama. I mean, because it's no doubt that Alabama's gonna be a favorite for them right now. He goes to the games and has got friends on the team beyond just his brother. So a significant player in his recruitment, Alabama will be, but a lock, I absolutely don't believe that's going to be the case.
I don't think it's a lock either, but I would love to have him. Do you think he's better than Ty?
As a prospect, I will say no, just simply because of this. I have to remember, Ty was considered the number 1 or 2 quarterback in the nation coming out of high school. So will Graham be ranked that high? Maybe, possibly. But it's just hard to be ranked higher than Ty was. So my answer to that's no, just in the sense that I just don't see him ranked any higher. I do think he's slightly different than Ty. I think Graham might be a little more polished as a passer, which is saying a lot because Ty was pretty advanced. But I think Graham might be a little more polished as a passer. I'm not sure if he's going to be the complete athlete that Ty is. And people, y'all have to remember this. I know as I'm bragging on Ty, you're all saying, Joe, watch him play the other day. Ty's been banged up, and I want people to remember back. I'm talking about the Ty Simpson, the Georgia, Missouri, South Carolina Ty Simpson, not the Auburn, Georgia Ty Simpson. Because in my mind, we're talking about two different players, really.
That's Tyler Simpson. By the way, I just looked it up. Okay, I think I am having a bit of a Mandela effect. Now, somebody for the Steelers knelt down and got obliterated, but Barry Foster in 1990 on a kickoff against the 49ers forgot. I mean, like the ball just rolled by him and he just didn't pick it up and he just started jogging away. I just watched the video and the Niners picked it up and scored. And they were up 13-7, and then the Niners went up 20-7 because he didn't. And that was in 1990. And for those who don't, I don't know why I remember Barry Foster so well. I don't, because he only played in the NFL 5 years. He played for Arkansas before Arkansas was in the SEC. But I do remember him very well. He did have 1 year in the NFL, his third year, 1992. Ironically, the year Arkansas did join the SEC, where he had almost 1,700 yards rushing. And that was back when they played only 16 games.
Good chance old John Neighbors from Locked On Razorbacks has never talked about Barry Foster. And here we are.
Yeah, that is because he's probably not old enough. I mean, Barry Foster and I are about the same, and we're all about. He's 57. We're all about the same age.
He's older. He's older. Yeah, if he's playing college football or played for the Steelers in 1990,
he played for the Steelers in 90, 91, 92, 93, and 94.
I was still at Alabama.
He was the MVP of the NFL in 92. The AP MVP. Holy cow.
I don't know why I don't remember him well.
He was a big, hulking Arkansas running back. That's what he was, just an Arkansas running back.
Yeah, that was also before. Let's remember that's before he played at Arkansas before Arkansas was in the SEC.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That would have been the Big 12 Arkansas teams that were right before Arkansas joined the SEC, which would be another.
Wait a minute. No. They weren't in the Big 12. They were in the Southwest Conference.
I think after the Southwest Conference folded, they joined the Big 12 briefly.
Or were they independent?
I'm pretty sure Big 12 is what I'm going with. Or Big 8, but the Big 12, I believe they were. That's my recollection. But they joined the SEC in 92.
Nobody may find this interesting but you and me, but it is cool. So, I mean, the University of Arkansas was nearly a member of the Big 8 Conference, which became the Big 12 in the late 70s and 80s due to strong football basketball programs and dissatisfaction with the SWC. But they were ultimately turned down or faced roadblocks, eventually joining the SEC in 91. they were never a Big 12 team. I didn't think they were. I think they were independent after SWC.
Okay. The Southwest Conference folded around 85 or 86. So they went a good 5 years of not even being in a league. I don't remember that at all. That was, that was all during a time I was at Alabama where there was some beer drinking going on. So this could be the particular brain cells that were lost by me at the Ivory Tusk.
It does say they were in the SWC in 91. I can't believe there was still a Southwest Conference in 91. I
didn't believe it. I didn't remember that at all.
Okay. All right. Well, that's going to do it for today's Locked On Barry Foster.
Don't tune into Locked On Razorbacks for this kind of Barry Foster coverage.
What a good, hey, talk about this in the Discord if you're on the Everydayer Club. This is cool. Would you like us to spend, like in the summer times, would you like us to spend like an episode talking about 2 or 3 players from Alabama or SEC past? We try to find out what they're doing now. We talk about their favorite memories, but we also don't do the research until the 3rd segment. So we can kind of guess until then. Like,
that's a good show.
I think you have a show where you talk about players and you remember what you remember. And then the 3rd show, you find out if you were wrong.
What if we spend the first 2 segments guessing what someone's been doing, and then in the 3rd segment, literally bring them on?
Yeah.
And have them as a guest in the 3rd segment. And we'll go, we guessed architect. Luke went marine biologist.
Turns out he's at home living with his parents. Now, for those who don't know, on my Sports Split show on Tuesday nights that I do every week, my co-host, Andy Graham, who is a big Aub, but a super guy, he has a segment called Alive or Dead because he knows I'm terrible at guessing. He will give me a person and say, are they alive or dead? And then I'll go, Jesus, they got to be dead. And he'll be like, that guy is very much alive. I'm like, how? How?
It's pretty.
Does he find a Lazarus pit?
I think I'd be pretty good at that game. I think so.
It's a fun game.
As soon as you say one, I'll get it wrong. But I like games like that.
It's a fun game unless a relative of that person is watching and you guess alive and they're dead.
I'm always interested in how old celebrities are too. I bet 90% of the questions I ask Siri on my phone, 90% of them is, asking Siri how old someone, like, I'll see someone like Al Pacino on TV and I'll be like asking Siri, how old is Al Pacino? I probably do this 3 or 4 times a day.
All right, that's going to do it for today's pod. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Until then, roll tide, everybody.
Roll tide.